Hello, welcome to my channel, Lady D. This will be my video for the full moon that is happening in Pisces on the 31st of August at 11:35 a.m. So that's my time in Sydney. So this full moon, it is going to be a big full moon. It's also going to be conjuncting Saturn. So the last one was in Leo. It conjuncted Venus. I think that was the new moon. And this one is conjuncting Saturn in Pisces. So this might not be as positive full moon. We've also got on the 27th leading up to it, we've got Mars moving into Libra. This might have like a sense of calm. Mars is like our motivation, also our like anger and trigger points. But being in the sign of Libra might sort of be more of a calming flow here. I'm born with this. My natal Mars is in Libra, so for me as a person, I am quite calm. I don't really have a temper unless something sort of usually like things with justice will set you off. So there could be a sense of people getting angry about things that are like justice or people not seeking justice, or something not being right, or scales not being like set or even. But also it could be a time where people don't want having conflict, people wanting to sort of shy away, lack of motivation, because Libras it's more of a calming sign. They're nice people, they don't like conflict, so you might find that coming up here with Mars going into Libra. We've also got Uranus retrograde on the 29th, so another planet going into retrograde. We're going to have a number of planets. We're only going to have Jupiter and Mars that's begun to go forward. The only planets that are moving forward. And then until Venus comes out of retrograde, and then as soon as that happens the next day, you're going to have Jupiter going to retrograde. So it's like a tag team. On the 30th, then we've got on the 31st, we've got this full moon. We've also got this week, we've got a tri between Mercury and Uranus. This is a positive thing. I feel like this is like when the planets work together. So this could be unexpected communication. It should be a positive experience. So you might hear about something, or someone, whatever you will hear about something that is it's going to be it's going to be a better thing, a positive thing. But you might also have unexpected thoughts, and again, it's all going to be positive trances when they work together, not against each other. So that's a good thing to have. With this full moon, it might have a false like a sense of completion, but it might be a false sense of things that are being completed. You might find too that like a false sense of security as well. It could be, say, with the moon, with the tide changes, you might find, as I could see before, there was an aspect of a big wave. So you might find that's more of a tide, or could be a tidal wave coming in. You might sense more things with water that's coming in as well. Problematic issues arising because Saturn is problems. So with the moon, it's going to be like emotional problems here, maybe coming up. You might feel like you're over emotional during this full moon. You can't keep in your emotions because we are in Pisces and they're an emotional sign. So it might be a thing where you overreact a little bit too. There might be a little bit of paranoia as well coming into this. And it's not a week for taking risks. You might have a sense of victimhood coming in with this full moon, a sense of being trapped, insecure, or not even feeling strong. Might be also coming up with this full moon. So it may not be it's just no ordinary full moon. I say it is conjuncting Saturn, and it's in Pisces, so it might be a bit of a sensitive with it too. What coming up this week? There could be a thing of feeling a bit tired, feeling like there's a bit of delay happening as well. Things maybe might seem like things aren't sort of moving in the direction that you want to go, and you're really trying to push and push and push, and something comes up. We've got here procrastination too, lack of motivation, and just not being impressed by stuff. Hard to find time to do planned things and to get things done. May not be much of a fun time. But it's a good time to finish old projects, things that you've already started. Finish them if you can. these are your time to finish it. So we've got these things going on, plus with all the other issues with the retrograde, with the Venus retrograde, with relationship issues. You know, I get clients coming in with different things with relationship and money. Usually I'm finding money, relationship, health are the main things people want to know in readings. Is Mercury retrograde. It is being a bit hectic already. I know for myself, yesterday driving on a highway, stone cracked my windscreen. So this morning I had to rush out and get that fixed, and I had we had a set date for a show I was going to do in November, and then we had to sort of pull the plug and look for a later date. So it's things that are detailed, as I said, things that, because in Virgo, things that are detailed are going to come up here, may not work out. It's going to be disappointing, but it's like you're going to have to keep pushing through. Don't give up. As I always say, don't give up, keep pushing. Or, you know, just see, I'm sure things are going to work out for myself and for you later on. And as I said, health, even for myself, again, with Virgo, it could be health. And I know, and even if you think back to around 2015, you might find you're revisiting things, or maybe issues that have started at that point, maybe it's being looked at again and revisited and even healed to a point. It could be 2014, 15, when we had this last Venus retrograde. There is a link up with that with now, and it could be a sense of completion as well, like completing a cycle. I know with my own health issues, I did a test and found out that I have some health issues, but it's been going on since back then. And we're in Mercury in Virgo, where we're looking at things, and Virgo does rule health. And even in my chart, that part actually, Virgo does cover health in part of my 6th house in my chart as well. It doesn't rule the 6th house, but it is a big chunk of it in that area. So you might find that coming up with you too. And I just feel like, and it might seem like you're not going anywhere, like you're pedaling a bike and you're just like but the bike's not going anywhere. So it can feel really a bit messed up a little bit. So let's look at the cards to see what's coming up for this week too. I saw Donald Trump, so he did get arrested today. So what's his name about that last week? So I was like, oh, I don't really feel like these charges are going to really faze him that much. I've also wanting to let you know that I've also done a podcast with my friend Janita on the retrogrades too. So we covered the nodes changing from Taurus, Scorpio, moving into Libra and Aries. We also covered the Venus retrograde. We covered Mercury retrograde too. So it's about an hour podcast. So I've got the link in the community section of my channel, so you can watch that too. And guide to just how to deal with the retrogrades. And even now I'm having problems with my computer, so I'm hoping it lasts through the end of this video. Cards for the week ahead. Okay, this week people are going to be stubborn. There could be a sense of people being stopped in their tracks. People are waiting, a sense of waiting, or even feeling bored coming up this week. People not wanting to move out of their own shadow, out of their own way to get things done. You might even hear of some sort of announcement coming up this week. Announcement. It's also a sense of feeling trapped. Okay. So for this week, I do feel like there is a bit of fighting here. As I said, a sense of stubbornness too. People are not moving out of their shadow. So really feeling like they just don't want to budge, being a bit stubborn perhaps too. There is an offer, and it's an offer I feel like of being more creative, of maybe even starting something new, a fresh start, new beginning. But there's something about whatever the offer whatever the offer it is about being more creative or showing how creative you can be. But at the same time, there is a sense of being trapped, or not trapped, but being stopped in your tracks with this card, and a bit of boredom as well. It's like you might feel like you're taking on the world. There is a sense of, like, fighting that's coming up here. But at the same time, even though I've got cards that sort of like, it's not like we're not moving a whole lot ahead, but at the same time, we're not as trapped as we think we are. We feel trapped, but it's not as what we feel. And there is a sense of moving on to something more positive and something new. And I see like a bigger announcement about something new that's coming up here too. I also got, but there's a sense of like taking on the world and fight. But after you've had this fight, there's this announcement. And it could be about Venus. It could be something about love. It could be, it could be something about relationships or love is coming up. And it can even be with the office sending about relationships, like someone's coming in here and maybe realizing what they've done wrong and trying to help or fix the situation. It's like this week, don't be blindsided if something hasn't changed, or you're with someone who is sort of, they probably won't change, but if there's a sense of they're promising you they'll change, then probably there may not be a change there. I feel like there is a sense of worrying or over worrying about things too, and not having the courage to even face things or to wanting to fix things to where they need to go. But it's just about like a lack of motivation into where you actually want to go as well. There's also a sense of wanting to see the truth of what's happening as well. And it's not like, did I believe it? Like, is it like did I believe it? It's kind of like, that like the India landing on the moon, like when I was like looking at that spaceship and I was like, that doesn't look real, do I believe it? So there could be a sense of like believing is to seen, but I have a feeling like even if you don't take up this offer, you're still heading in a better direction, and that offer may even look good, but when you get it, it may not be the best, because it's also a sense of being, as I said, stopped in your tracks. There could be maybe having to change dates of things, like how I'm at the moment. There's a sense of unrealistic expectations coming in this week too. People wanting and demanding more and being quite stubborn in what they want, but not paying attention on what's going on in their own lives and being more focused on what's happening for other people. People not sharing enough wisdom. People just, I feel like, being blinded or just not paying attention to things, or not wanting to show up or not wanting to face things this week that could be coming up too. But I just feel like I ultimately do feel like it's like kind of like boredom this week as well. Let me do a channel to see what's coming up with this full moon. This full moon is going to be spectacular and beautiful in the sky. There should be a pink or green, even a green tinge to the moon. You're all going to feel delighted and raising the moon's rays and energy. But this moon has a dark side as well, for problematic issues will arise, for things you thought had done and dusted may come back, and you then feel a bit emotional and tired. Take care of yourself and rest up, for the year has still got jam-packed things to come in, and you're all going to feel like you wish that the new year is already here. But you still got to wait, and for the wait, there comes next year. Don't be afraid, keep moving forward, and don't stop, because the best is yet to come for you all. Okay. Alright, let's just do 3 cards, because I don't want the video to stop, because it already stopped once. Okay, so I'm going to do the friends cards. Okay. Hello. Let's have a look here. I'll do 3 cards because of the video that I have this is the second part that I'm doing. Okay, card number 1, which is this card here. trying to weigh up two options here. Things are in balance. You're trying to weigh up the scales. You really want things to start heading your way. You might be looking for more like tips, or could be like tips on how to run your life, or tips in terms of like financial gain, in like investments, or just where you're going to go. It's going to kind of feel like you want to go to top of the world, but you struggle to get there. You keep pushing through. You're not going to slow down and stop. You're just sort of like, here you are, take me or leave me. But it's a sense of trying to make things a balance too for you for this week. We have card number 2, which is this card here. Okay, this card, it's like you're really pleading. You're wanting forgiveness. You're wanting to be listened to. You want to be spoken to in a correct manner. You don't want to be blindsided. You just want people to be honest with you and to see like where you're heading. You've been feeling lost, a bit in despair, but you're trying to get yourself in a better place. You just keep on trying to push through. There might be a sense of having to be creativity, or looking at a new beginning, or looking at doing something new this week. It's getting out of your comfort zone as well for this card. Card number 3, which is this card here. Oh God. Okay, this card here, if like you're feeling a bit blinded, you're feeling trapped, you feel like you can't move, but you're not really trapped. There is a way out of the situation. There are other things you can do. You've just got to be more open into what you are doing. You're wanting to stay in control and also what's going on around you. You don't want to be wasting time. You're feeling like time's being wasted. You're wasting time. You're feeling like a motivation, very tired, maybe even neglected, I'm going to say as well. But there's a sense of giving someone a chance, or being open-minded about something too with this card. Don't forget, I still have that tickets available for that restaurant. It is over half sold. So if you do want to get a ticket, ring up and book for that. And I've also got some podcasts that I've done as well. And I've got a few fairs coming up in September. September for me will be a busy month. I have got a lot, and towards the end of September coming to October. October is a busy month as well. This Sunday will be on platform at Camden Church. If you're in Sydney, something to do, I will be on platforming at Camden Church in Camden. And I think, oh yes, and I have also recorded more predictions for Canada, so I was able to do that this week, and I'll upload that soon, along when I'm finishing up the horoscopes as well. Okay, so thank you for your likes, shares and your comments, and I will see you for my next video. So bye for now.